Chapter 1, verse 5.
It is you we worship, and you we ask for help.
This verse uses the plural form when describing a person's behavior towards Allah, the Exalted, instead of the singular form even though a single person is reciting this verse. This eliminates the major sin of pride. It is important to note that an atom's worth of it is enough to lead a person to hell. This is confirmed in a narration found in Sahih Muslim, number 265. When one recites the plural form, they are reminded that they are only a single person worshipping Allah, the Exalted, amongst countless beings, some of which do nothing except worship Him, such as the angels. Acknowledging that there is no help, power or strength except from Allah, the Exalted, also eliminates pride. How can one be proud of any act of worship or any righteous deed they perform when they acknowledge that the inspiration, strength, knowledge and opportunity needed to perform the deed comes only from Allah, the Exalted? In addition, this verse also aims to eliminate wishful thinking. This occurs when a Muslim fails to fulfill their duty to Allah, the Exalted, and the creation and still expects the help and mercy of Allah, the Exalted. No doubt, Allah, the Exalted, can provide help to anyone at any time, but this verse shows the correct method of obtaining the help and mercy of Allah, the Exalted. A Muslim should first strive in the obedience of Allah, the Exalted, by fulfilling His commands, refraining from His prohibitions and by facing destiny with patience according to the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and then hope for the help of Allah, the Exalted. In a narration found in Jami' at-Tirmidhi, number 2459, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, described the difference between true hope in the mercy of Allah, the Exalted, and wishful thinking. True hope is when one controls their soul by avoiding the disobedience of Allah, the Exalted, and actively struggles for preparing for the hereafter, whereas the foolish wishful thinker follows their desires and then expects Allah, the Exalted, to forgive them and fulfill their wishes. It is important for Muslims not to confuse these two attitudes so that they avoid living and dying as a wishful thinker, as this person is highly unlikely to succeed in this world or the next. Wishful thinking is like a farmer who fails to prepare the land for planting, fails to plant seeds, fails to water the land and then expects to harvest a huge crop. This is plain foolishness and this farmer is highly unlikely to succeed. Whereas, true hope is like a farmer who prepares the land, plants seeds, waters the land and then hopes Allah, the Exalted, will bless them with a huge harvest. The key difference is that the one who possesses true hope will actively strive to obey Allah, the Exalted, by fulfilling His commands, refraining from His prohibitions and by facing destiny with patience according to the traditions of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and whenever they slip up they sincerely repent. Whereas, the wishful thinker will not actively strive in obeying Allah, the Exalted, and instead follow their desires and still expect Allah, the Exalted, to forgive them and fulfill their wishes. Muslims must therefore learn the key difference so that they can abandon wishful thinking and instead adopt true hope in Allah, the Exalted, which always leads to nothing except good and success in both worlds. This has been indicated in a narration found in Sahih Baqarah, number 7405. A specific type of wishful thinking which affected the past nations and even the Muslim nation is when a person believes that they can ignore the commands and prohibitions of Allah, the Exalted, and somehow someone on the Day of Judgment will intercede for them and save them from hell. Even though the intercession of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is a fact and has been discussed in many narrations, such as the one found in Sunan ibn Majah, number 4308. Nonetheless, even with his intercession, some Muslims whose punishment will be reduced by it will still enter hell. Even a single moment in hell is truly unbearable. So one should abandon wishful thinking and instead adopt true hope by practically striving in the obedience of Allah, the Exalted. The devil convinces those who do not believe in Judgment Day that even if it occurs they will make peace with Allah, the Exalted, on that day by claiming that they were not so bad as they avoided major crimes such as murder. They have convinced themselves that their pleas will be accepted and they will be sent to paradise even though they disbelieved in Allah, the Exalted. during their lives on earth. This is incredibly foolish, as Allah, the Exalted, will not treat the person who believed in Him and tried to obey Him like the one who disbelieved in Him. A single verse has erased this type of wishful thinking. Chapter 3 Ali Imran, verse 85.
Every soul will taste death, and you will only be given your full compensation on the day of resurrection. So he who is drawn away from the fire and admitted to paradise has attained his desire. And what is the life of this world except the enjoyment of delusion?